Greetings, beloved humans. Hello, how are you all doing? I hope you had a good, happy Earth Day. I wanted to just come in and give a quick update on an Earth update, but also like more um, in keeping with an update on what I'm up to. So, as you know, my channel's called Lilac Flows. Join me on the leading edge. I really, really, really feel like the information I have is sort of the leading edge information. It's the stuff that feels to me that it's out there. It's beyond what our what my let me keep it to me. My rational mind would accept. So, and it's heart-based information that I've been learning about, and that's what I use now to measure my the direction in which I'm learning. So, a couple of videos ago, I talked about how I am building into my passion project, which was using this program called Blender to create an animated character. And this is all connected in with my art practice as a painter, um, as a designer of sort of concepts. For example, over here, which you can't see at some point, maybe I'll be able to show it to you. I have a painting called General Strike 2016. And in some ways, this General Strike was when I started being, my isolation began. So the sort of global isolation that's going on with the Ovid. I was listening to Ovid mythologies earlier today, because that's like part of what this story of Mother Earth is, that she, we're, being on the leading edge. Go outside and talk to anybody and ask them, tell them that Earth is a living being. She's alive. She has a skin, she has organs, she has lungs, she breathes. Go and talk to anybody in your community, anybody, your partner in your house, your kids, and see what they say. Ask them, say, Mother Earth's a living being. What do you think about that? Is that something that you already know? For me, I came into consciousness that we were here to look after and care for Mother Earth, humanity, beloved humanity, was to our technically what and who we are, sort of soul, body, mind complexes are here on Earth to we are Earth. We are earthbound. We're spiritual beings, so to speak, spiritual beings, part of source creator that come in to Earth. We come into Earth and we are birthed into Earth through our mother's bodies. And those bodies come from Earth. They're the same. The components that make up our bodies, what we, the sort of, people say hologram of our bodies, which, from one perspective is quite true, because we're like, when you start to understand a little more about what molecules, what the electrons that make up our bodies are, they're different configurations of molecular cohesion. So, and we have different names for the different kinds of things, like sulfur or oxygen, hydrogen. These are molecular constructions. That is what Earth is made up of, and there's like a whole periodic table that sort of illuminates that, and that breath that flows through that is the source that holds it all together, that keeps it alive, let's say. Yes, alive. Now, I mean, there's so many mysteries on how this works. And w- we as humans have been sort of steered away from really understanding how that that how powerful we are to create our own reality through the understanding through this learning. So on another level or another from another perspective, you can think we come to Earth and Earth is a learning planet. We're here to learn. And what are we learning? We're learning all kinds of things. We're learning we're learning all kinds of things. People go to school, they learn, to get a degree. I've got one diploma and 3 degrees. I've been rushing around trying to sort this out, figure out, who I am, what I'm here for, but without, up until very recently, like I'm going to say, probably around this time I was doing this general strike painting where I was channeling my I was experiencing a lot of I was pretty angry and upset and alone and isolated. I mean, and that isolation was coming to me because of all kinds of things, and a lot of things that I still don't really understand. But the end product was I ended up not being able to walk and having to and go through the processes of acceptance of learning how to use a wheelchair, accepting help from other people and that sort of thing in order to just sort of survive. So, and then being isolated because not being able to move around easily, not be able to get out of bed, not be able to eat properly, all of these things. And then really feeling a need to be alone, a need to be in isolation because I didn't fit in. I no longer fit my own concept of what it is to be human, to be myself, to sort of fit into the world, that able-bodied kind of perspective where we're physically, physically trudging through the world, creating what we want. Now, the spirituality side of that comes to us at certain points. Some people have it, and I'm saying I'm on the leading edge, but I'm also saying I might be the very last person to have figured this out or to have come into consciousness about that. So I'm not saying that this is my perspective. If it and there's some fear around talking about really what is happening because it it is a bit far out and it's easier to not easier. It's not easy. It's not easy to not talk about it. In fact, it kind of like it creates a barrier between you and other people because you of being like afraid to sort of reach out and begin to articulate that knowing that you have because I've been blocked off from it before in terms of spirituality, being an atheist, raising, growing, marrying an atheist, raising the kids as atheists, and sort of having a line in the sand about spirituality, about religion, about what all of that was. And that was like beyond the pale. We're not going to accept that. We're going to look only at reality through what can be sort of proven and understood through that scientific proof means. Now, as we know, the religious information and the scientific information is now coming closer and closer and closer together. And even though there's a lot of cultural resistance in the West, anyway, to accepting that, what the religious texts teach us and what science is trying to prove, that these things are coming into alignment. Wow, it's pretty big. Okay, so I just wanted to come on today and give a burst of, because I'm trying to get my channel to a place where I'm sharing what I have to share, because one of the big things is, if this is all true that humanity is going through an ascension process right now. We are all coming, we're awakening to who we are, spiritual beings in the physical realm. Uh, that Earth is also awakening. She, they, she is, well, there's a whole lot of ideas about Mother Earth, but her soul had apparently is coming, she's coming more into her body. And this is what this is, you can really see this from a further back perspective when you think about what's happening with big oil, that oil is now a barrel of oil is like less than $0 now. The people who, the big multinational corporations, the market, there are no dollars. They're gonna have to pay people to take the oil. I mean, it's like, okay, and everyone's staying home. No, people are, the driving has, let's say, it's gone down a lot. I've got someone who talks more specifically about that on one of my YouTube channels that I listen to. Now, all of this stuff, I need to somehow figure out how to link it in to my, I'm trying to learn to use the technology to share this stuff. And, you know, I each day still have to figure out how to get this body up out of bed and moving around and fed. And that takes, that's a distraction, but that's that's how it is. That's what we're in the physical realm. So really beginning to figure out how to uh, move in the physical realm or be still in the physical realm. I think being still is really important because when you are trying to connect in with your inner self, because really we create the world. Everything that's around me are things that I've already created. Then in some ways, this is the past, and I want to be in the present. So to be in the present, you have to sort of see the world through the eye of your heart, and that's also where the truth is for you. So that's meditation, really. That's sort of how I'm saying what meditation is. Okay, it's a lot. There's a lot going on. It's pretty exciting times. The lungs of Earth, the air is clearing up. You can see cities are cleaner than I mean, it's incredible. It's not even I feel like here it's just a month that people have been staying home and things have really cleared up quickly. It's amazing how fast nature can rebalance. It's really quite wonderful. So, and who saw this coming? I don't know who saw this coming. And of course, there's the other side, the COVID, where all the fear is coming from, and that just brings us up to our mortality. So we have to be. So there's a lot of fear around dying, and this can also trigger a spiritual awakening where you suddenly realize that you're an eternal being, because our souls are eternal beings, meaning they don't really, I mean, when you're in meditation, this is how you can prove it to yourself when you're in meditation. And Mooji has a really great meditation, Mooji. You can Google him, on going into that emptiness and really sort of recognizing that source that never changes. Everything else is clouds passing. Everything else is clouds passing, including pain, clouds passing. Our physical bodies, clouds passing. But and then there's the afterlife. Like my family's lost quite a few family members in the last few years, and that really was a difficult time. Had been super difficult for me, and triggered a lot of my fears around my own death, and being a parent and trying to sort out my mission essentially without really recognizing that that is what I was looking for answers to. So I know maybe this sound isn't that coherent, but my ideas, my desire and idea, and it's a pretty strong one, is that I have to create my own channel, which that's what this is, um, and share the wisdom that be in my wisdom and find a way to share it despite the resistance there is to hearing this kind of stuff out there. Although I believe we're more and more open to it as a human race because we can't help it. The solar energy that's coming in here is bombarding us. I suppose bombarding us, maybe that's not the right word, but it's coming into Earth and it's changing our electrochemical, it's changing what we are and who we are. We're moving from a carbon-based to a crystalline-based physicality, which who knows what, I don't know. Anyway, and we're becoming more heart-centered and clairvoyant. So these are all very exciting, very positive things. And so just try not work at being in your joy as much as you can, as much as you can through your consciously consciously feeling and then consciously projecting that. That's one thing you can do. Consciously change your fear to joy. Say, like, do it, do it. Move yourself. Move your emotional. Move your emotional. Your emotional. I'm trying to feel for the word, but it's not coming. But not coming fast enough. It's there. It's a meditative practice, shifting your state of being consciously. You can use your thoughts to do it, and then that eventually seeps into your heart space, and you can feel it, and it just feels like a pulsing, an expansion, a warmth. It's like you experience a different state when you're able to consciously, and consciousness is just watching everything that's going on, watching your thoughts, watching while you're doing it and feeling it, and we're all anyway, it's all happening. um there's all different levels of consciousness. Some people are way conscious of who they are. Other people are just waking up, and some people are fighting to stay asleep. And this is Lisa Figa signing off. I hope you're all doing well. Love and blessings, joy and groundedness to humanity and Mother Earth, and congratulations on this huge achievement. I'll be back soon.